New York, New York. Even my cup is from New York. Yeah? I mean, it's just here in this Airbnb apartment. I'm actually in Mexico right now. But I would like to review my trip to the US. I mean, my trips, because I've been to the US a couple of times. As a German, you can easily get the e-visa on the internet, just 1 or 2 days ahead. But they charge you some money. They charge you, I think, $14 something. But it's an easy process, much easier, for example, in the Indian visa, or cheaper as well. But it's not a visa on arrival. And if you have visited Yemen, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, and some other couple of countries, Somalia, then you will have problems getting this e-visa. Where you can lie, but the US, they know everything, so you have to be careful. Better tell them the truth. And but if you don't, if you haven't been to those countries, that's no problem visiting the US. So, the first time I've been to the US was in 2009. Yeah, 2009 I've flew to San Francisco to study English, in fact. So I spent the entire 3 months in San Francisco.
Willkommen in Yosemite Valley. It's a very boring point of California. It's a lot of trees and a lot of people here living bears in the woods, so I'm afraid to stay at night here.
I was living with 2 lesbians in the Bayview district, where all the African Americans live. Like, they were smashing car windows every day, and you hear police sirens, and like a lot of crime is there. And in my school, my English school, where I learned, it's the American Academy of English, it's the name. And then my teacher said, "Children, you should never visit Bayview or Hunters Point," that's the other district next to it. And I said, "Hey, this is where I live." So anyway, I had a good time. It was a really good deal at the time. I paid only $400 per month, including a meal on Sundays. And it was really nice. I mean, a tiny room, they call it the Harry Potter room, because it's below the stairs. It's just to sleep. But it's enough, it's all I need. And then I had the rest of this huge house, which I could use. The lesbians were nice, they had 5 cats. And there were also other people living in the little more expensive room, the other bedroom, for a few $100 more. Found them on Craigslist, I think. So that was my first experience of the US, and I really loved it. I love California, I love San Francisco. I had so much to do. You have the Pier 41 or 39. You have Alcatraz, you have the Golden Gate Bridge, you have the Muir Woods, you have Sacramento, you have all these attractions. So it was really cool. I've been traveling around a lot, learning English. I had a blast, I had an awesome time. I missed there, I really want to go back. I met so many nice people. This was this point where I started to travel, in fact. 9 years ago, 2009, my first big trip, I loved it. It's so amazing. So I met friends in school, in my English school. We rented a car, we went to the Yosemite Park, National Park, stayed in the bungalow for a night or 2, I don't remember, it's long ago. And a lot of great times, but it's long ago. Since then, a lot of time passed, and the second time to the US was in 2013. Yeah. One more thing I forgot, a very special experience I've had. In the district where I lived, the Hunters View. On Sunday, they said, like, there was like at the church, I was living not too far from the church, there was a big sign, "Free barbecue on Sunday." And well, I'm not a person who often go to church, but I thought, why not try it? I have nothing to do, let's check it out. So, I've been to this African American church, and I was the only white guy. But the priest was white as well. But he had this African American attitude. He was so outgoing, like he was like saying, "Hallelujah, everyone! Snoop Dogg is successful. Why Kanye West is so successful when he's on stage? Why he's in his spirit? Because Jesus is with him." Yeah, so Jesus is the man, Jesus the Lord, he's with him. Amazing attitude. Like in a German church, you would never be so passionate, so outgoing. Yes, and Joshua the fourth, blah blah blah, the Old Testament money, and Jesus went, and let's pray, and let's sing together. It's really boring. Of course, you want to fall asleep in Germany in a church. Yeah, well, I had to visit the church every Sunday in Germany for 1 year because of this confirmation, they call it. Anyway, so I was so boring. I had to go to church every Sunday for 1 year, and I hated it. Honestly, I hated it. I'm born as a Christian, born as a Protestant, but I never really believe in it. I'm not an atheist, but I don't follow any religion. I just believe in the spirit of the universe, spirit of the nature, or something which is there. So, but no religion. Religion is made by people. And if you follow one religion, you have to basically abandon another religion, and that's not what I want to do. I tolerate all religions. But anyway, I love this church so much because I love the attitude of the people. And then, the priest said, "No, everybody, let's get up and dance." And then people were dancing and singing, and then they had this amazing piano. I think they even had a saxophone. Maybe I just imagined that, but it was really nice. And I was like mind blown. I said, "What the hell is this?" And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that I went every other Sunday to the church. Every single Sunday I went to this church, and I loved it so much. And even this year, when I'm back to the US, I tried to find African American churches so I could get this kind of spirit, this gospel churches. Unfortunately, I was in New York City this year, and I just found a Hispanic church that spoke Spanish, and they had like attitude like in Germany, so I just stayed there 10 minutes. I just been to a church, but it was a Latino church. I actually was looking for African American church because they're gonna have a wonderful gospel. But I found a very nice church in Jamaica, in fact, which had also good attitude. But never any church got the standard of this San Francisco Huntersville church. I forgot the name, maybe you can look it up. It's amazing, it's so amazing. That was like the highlight of the entire thing. But the whole 3 months were just great, amazing. I also did a trip with a friend from Spain. I met there in the same apartment with the lesbians. We rented a car and we've been to LA, other cities. Santa Cruz. We also been to Santa Cruz, and we've been to Orange County. I think it was just a 2-night trip, like really rushed, see as much as possible. Staying also in a hostel with a 32-bedroom dorm. They were like more than $20. It's like crazy. I've never saw a hostel with so many beds. I saw actually in Helsinki. Helsinki was the other one. For Helsinki and New York, a 32-bed dorm. It's crazy.
Yeah, I want to show my German friends. German. Because I don't have a really opinion because I only stay here for 2 days.
Okay. LA is a big fucking hole. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. That's it.
So we went to bars, and in the evening, like a Spanish guy I was traveling with, he barely had his license, so he wasn't driving super nicely, and then we got stopped by the police. And then when we got stopped by the police, they said, "Oh, we have to do this, we think maybe you were drunk, we have to do this test." But in Germany, you just blow into the thing and they tell you 0.3, alright, you haven't drank too much, so you're fine. Keep going driving, or you had too much, give me your license. I don't know. So, but they don't do this in the US, they're still old-fashioned because they kind of enjoy the process. So he had to he stand on one leg, and he had to close the eyes and touch his nose with his hand. And the police actually say he failed. They were talking to me. There were 2 police officers. One guy was doing the test with me, and the other one was talking with me. Where have you been? Have you been drinking? Blah blah blah. How do you know each other? And then he told me, "Oh, your friend actually he failed the test, but we believe that he is very nervous, so it's gonna be all right. We'll let you go." Such amazing things, it's unbelievable. But I loved it. I don't know, I love the US, I love the attitude of the people, I love the country, it's so diverse. I was just talking with my, I just met an American girl in Guatemala, and I was talking to her, which country is the most open-minded country in the world? I first said the US, but then we came to the conclusion, Canada is actually even more open-minded. In fact, it's more multicultural and it's a bit more open-minded. But also Netherlands, Netherlands, Canada, the most open-minded country. But the US, it's very, very open-minded as well. That's what I like. So multicultural and so diverse. I don't know, I loved it. I mean, a country which can has a president like Donald Trump, it must be very open-minded. So yeah, this was 2009. Then the next time I've been to the US was in 2013, but it was by land. Because I was staying in Vancouver for 4 months for my graduation thesis. I visited Seattle and Washington State, and I really like this nature there. I mean, still, Canada has the best nature in the world, together with New Zealand, but Washington State also has amazing nature. The Mount Baker and all the other hiking trails, the ocean, it's so fascinating. I really love it. And yeah, Seattle is also a very nice city. But in the US, you hear a lot of sirens, they are police, and in Canada, they are usually like the ambulance, and they barely see any police. So the crime is a bit higher in the US compared to Canada. But it's still quite safe, especially at daytime. I mean, compared to here, Central America, South America, Mexico, it's still fine. And then, this year, next time to the US, I flew from Germany to Iceland to New York City for less than $200. So welcome to New York. This is the skyline as viewed from the Rockefeller Center, top of the rocks. This is the most expensive observatory I've been to, $40. Wow, wow prices. I mean, cheap airline, but it's good for the price. Going to New York City. And still, I mean, I've traveled a lot, but it was mind-blowing to see the skyscrapers, the yellow taxis from the movie, Central Park, Empire State. What is it here? The World Trade Center, super nice. Like, New York City is mind-blowing for everyone, even for a world traveler like me. I was so fascinated. I loved it also. You can do a lot of free stuff. It's not that expensive. I paid $30. I stayed in Brooklyn, but very close to the subway, so to the metro. You could very easily reach Manhattan, going around. Very convenient. Also, you can take the Staten Island ferry for free. You can see Liberty State for free. They have the 9/11 museum, very fascinating. Also free on Tuesdays. The MoMA is free on Fridays, and the Central Park is always free. Central Park is pretty cool. Better than I expected. It's really like a little forest in the city. You can basically, when you have a phone, a US phone is always unlimited calls and stuff, you can just dial those codes, they have like those signs, and then Whoopi Goldberg tells you something about the lake, and Anne Hathaway say, oh, there are a lot of squirrels here in the park, and this park was found, blah blah blah, from whatever. It was really nice. I love New York City. I think it's so amazing. Just the US, it's very amazing. And this t-shirt I bought in New York City at the Times Square. Yeah, $6. I thought, well, get a souvenir. I like to buy souvenirs you can use. I don't like this magnets or stuff. Like a shirt you can wear. So this is a good souvenir. And the best souvenirs are in fact photos and videos, because this is lively, it's about yourself. It's about the time when you were there, so that's why I love recording the moments. Yeah? So what I'm doing with this channel is capturing moments. It's a typical American breakfast. So we have...
Welcome to the obesity problem.
Yeah, and that's why I want to show you what is my experience, my opinion about this country, and also for me, when I watch this video in 10, 20 years, it's going to be also wow. Yeah? So remember the details a little bit better. Yeah, because the longer it's ago, the more you're going to tend to forget. It was my first impression of New York. Lots of black people, lots of African Americans, and the Caucasians are mostly obese. So, New York City, I spent there 8 days, I think 8 or 9 days. First in New Jersey, really nice as well. Then Manhattan, we stayed in Brooklyn, Queens. I was traveling with a friend. Then we went to Canada quickly, over like by land. We rented a car in New York City at JFK Airport and took the car all to Canada, to Toronto. So back to the States. Here's a wonderful viewpoint on the way back to New York. And it's like a long drive, 7 hours. And then I brought my friend back to the airport and I went further down to DC. Yeah, no, I stopped first at Philadelphia. So here they got famous Philly steaks. It's a really nice neighborhood. For a night, I love this TV series. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And then I went to DC. So I just arrived in Washington DC yesterday. This morning I brought my rental car back to the airport. And now I'm here at the Airspace Museum. I was lucky I could stay for free at the lady's house I knew from Taiwan. It's a Taiwanese lady living in DC. But she lives a little bit outside the city, so I had to always pay Uber because there's no public transport. One thing about the US, unless you're in a major city, public transport is gonna be horrible. Even in Miami. Yeah, I mean, San Francisco have good transport and New York City. But LA and Miami or DC, it's alright, depends on which part you live in. But usually it's not that good. There wasn't even a bus connection and it wasn't that far from the city center. Like 50 minutes by car, but this area where she lived, there was not even a bus going there. So I always had to take Uber. Like I could take the metro to a place nearby, so the Uber fee would be a bit cheaper. But sometimes I also took it from the city because it's Uber pool. It was like $12, $13, not too expensive. Share the car with other people. That's alright as well. So, and I love DC because there are so many museums. I think I've never been to a place where you have so many museums in one place and they're all free. Yeah, all free. Like if you love museums, DC is the best place in the world. All the great museums are for free. You learn natural history, science, the national history, and I don't know what. I didn't even have enough time to visit them. I was like 2 days non-stop seeing museums and I didn't manage to see all the museums. So it's basically, yeah, and it's all near the White House. I was shocked that it was a bit dirty around the White House, a lot of trash. Then I booked the flight from Baltimore to Orlando and I had to go to Baltimore. Welcome to Baltimore. It's a crazy city and it wasn't actually planned to be here. Luckily this Taiwanese lady had a seminar nearby there, so she dropped me off. But then again, where she dropped me off, she didn't drive me out to the city. There was no public transport. I still had to take an Uber, $15, $20 I forgot, to Baltimore. And Baltimore, I think one of the shadiest cities I've visited in the US. But sketchy, it's very sketchy, depends on what district. Like there were signs. Oh, this year we had 1,500 drug deaths, but we prevented 2,000 something. Yeah, so many drug addicts here. And also I made friends with some like low class people, but still they're very cool. You know, I like to meet locals, see their opinion, really, because this is what really represents the country. So they were chatting with me at the bus station, and yeah, just they accompanied me a bit in downtown, and they were nice guys. Like going to the shelter actually with them. I felt a bit weird about it, but I found it also interesting. Yeah, I want to try to understand such a person's reality because it reflects the culture, and I care. I want to see what are the problems of the country, why those people are poor. Why they can't get a job. Yeah? They say it's so difficult to find work and education is expensive. Yeah? This is a major issue that university costs so much in US. So people have problems getting educated. So I only stayed one night in Baltimore and from there I flew to Orlando. It's really nice here. It's a wonderful day. Spirit Airways. I had a big problem at the airport because suddenly this QR code didn't show. Like you buy this ticket, you have an e-ticket, I wanted to show them and suddenly it doesn't show. Failed to load the QR code, I didn't print it out. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't let you check in. And I was late, shit, what am I gonna do? So I took my laptop and then luckily somehow it showed on my laptop. Yeah, but in the future you really have to print it, or I thought I made a screenshot, but somehow I didn't save it. Yeah. So anyway, it was really close call. I was the last passenger who boarded the plane, like 5 minutes before departure. I was almost sure I'm gonna miss it, but I caught it. Yeah, I'm happy about it. So I caught the plane, flew to Orlando, and then it's such a different atmosphere again. Orlando, Florida, vacation state, a cool airport. I found an iPad actually at the airport, but I didn't keep it. I returned it, lost and found. Then my Airbnb host, he picked me up at the airport. I think $20 again. It's not so cheap, but Uber would be $30. So I chose the location close to Disney World. He was actually working at Disney World as well, because I always wanted to visit Disney World. It was my dream, and it was amazing.
Welcome to Disneyland.
I love Disney World. I've been to Disney World, Hong Kong, Japan, and Paris, but of course Orlando is the best. Yeah, I mean, the other countries, they all copy the Magic Kingdom, except for Japan. They have their own Disney Sea. They have a lot of unique stuff, so I highly recommend. It's the second best Disney park in the world. But then in the US, in Florida, you have Epcot, you have Animal Kingdom, really cool, with the Avatar ride. I really loved that one. And there was like a girl, I think she was like 15, 16 years old, traveling with her grandma, and she was so scared of this ride, you know. I mean, it's not a big deal, it's just this like, kind of motorbike, and you fly through this thing, and she was she was hyperventilating, yeah, and said, I can't. And the grandma, she was 80 or something. I mean, she was cool. Oh, calm down, it's not a big deal, you know, it's just a little fun ride. And he, no, I need to leave. And then the staff came, and then, are you sure? It's just 3.5 minutes or something. Can you make it? No, I need to go. And then, all right. And I told the grandma, hey, you should stay, you should still enjoy the ride. I mean, she's like, we have been waiting here for 90 minutes, yeah, and now this. Yeah, she was a little upset. And I said, come on, you can still enjoy it. No, I need to accompany my granddaughter. Yeah. I mean, it's the right thing to do, so she couldn't take the ride. It was the funniest experience of the entire Disney World. I also love this shuttle launch ride where you really got pressed into the seat. You know, you get really dizzy. You get like, I saw black, you know, I was passed out. This is amazing, you know, like, what about old people? If you're a senior guy, so I guess some people are passing out. I could like almost black from my eyes because you get the pressure. I don't know, they have like a centrifuge, or I have to look it up. It was really cool. Also the shows, depending like this cultural shows, which I loved in Epcot with the different countries representing.
The lights in the theater will be dim during the performance.
Hollywood Park was not so well, but the Star Wars things were cool. But yeah, all in all, super nice. And then Universal Studios, also pretty cool. I actually also participated in this Fear Factor ride, because the parks are much smaller than Disney World. So Disney World, you have to come in the morning, you have to schedule the stuff with the Fast Pass, and then you can leave at park closure. Really, it's going to be a tight day, especially also because of the wait long in lines. Then Universal, not too much. Well, most rides are like you get the glasses and it's a shaky ride with a movie. They're very similar. I think Disney World is much more innovative, but it's still cool. So I had some time to participate in this Fear Factor ride. Not a ride, like a show. So you have to go like on top of the thing and then hold yourself in 30, 40 meters high, and it was a cool experience, really exciting. Unfortunately didn't win. A black guy from Baltimore got the prize, really athletic guy. But at least I got under the last three, so it's fine. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this. It was a highlight of the Universal Studios. Then, yeah, the rides are good, and there is also the Adventure Island. They have a cool ride. They have this Hulk roller coaster. It's quite fun. I mean, Disney World doesn't have so many thrill rides, but they have better shows and stuff. Anyway, I enjoyed my days. 5 days in amusement parks. It was super expensive. I spent more than $500. I think $550 something. Really expensive, but yeah, it was worth it. And I always had to take Uber to the parks because, again, no public transport. I paid also a lot for Uber, $6 there and $6 back. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even go to the entrance. I had to go to the hotel, which is the closest to my Airbnb, and from there I could take the free shuttle of Disney. Yeah, and Universal, I think I paid $15 there and 15 back. It's super expensive, but no choice, no public transport. That's the problem. Yeah, but the second time I went there, I had a rental car, so it was a bit better. So I got a rental car. Rental cars are usually cheap in the US, less than $20. Gas is cheap. So I could park at the outlet and then walk to the Universal Studios. Then, after visiting amusement parks, there's not too much to see in Orlando. They also have like a park, the Holy Lands. Yeah, it's kind of like a religious amusement park. Really special, really interesting, but I didn't want to spend $50 for it, so I skipped it. Then, from there, driving all the way down to Miami. Forgot how many hours it was. It's like a whole day. The coast, doing some stops, spending the entire day. In Miami, and then it was not too much to see. Miami Beach. So, and what to do in Miami? What to do? They had not too much to do. You can visit Everglades. I didn't. I went to Key West. Yeah, my parents went there when they were young and they said it was cool, and it was cool. They have like cool beaches and stuff. It's a very long ride from Miami, especially if you go there for a day trip. But it was cool to see the planes flying low. They have some army planes and they had like cool maneuvers in the air. I enjoyed that. But yeah, that's it. And then I flew from Miami to Jamaica, my next destination.
At the airport for my flight to Jamaica.
But you can see, because it was this year, I had so much more details than in the recent years, because I don't really remember the trip so well. It was like in Seattle and San Francisco. But yeah, I love the US. So there are still places I haven't visited. So I really want to go to Las Vegas, of course, is famous. Hall, Texas, see the mentality of people. The inner country, Ohio, Colorado, 420. And Chicago, lots of places. Also visit other amusement parks, maybe Six Flags. I love this kind of stuff. So I love the US. I love the multicultural society. I love the open-minded of the people. And what else makes the US unique? For example, the radio channels. When you listen to radio, you sometimes have advertisement in the car, and they're always talking so fast. I mean, even I can understand that. It's too difficult for me. Like after a spot, Rogers phone or AT&T, then they're gonna talk. But the conditions apply. Like you have to be 18 years older. Blah 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 blah.
Daddy, look how pretty it is!
So anyway, thank you very much for watching. And I think most of my subscribers are also from the US, so Trump for president, no. My Airbnb host, he's actually pro-Trump. I'm neutral. I was actually happy when he was voted, because I thought, this is going to be a crazy future. He's a crazy guy, we're going to have some action, I mean, something more interesting. But of course, if you live there in the country, you might have, you care about other things. And one of my German students, since I teach German on Skype, he said, I can't sleep at night with this guy in the White House. I'm so worried. Anyway, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with any president, and I still love the US. It's so cool. Also, I visited the Trump Tower. They have Trump ice cream in New York City, and lots of cool stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I don't know what country is coming up. Something else. See you.